So boys, we are taking on Dez as the 20th ranked player in the world heading into the Madden 24 competitive season. Dez has made $361,000 playing Madden, and he made that last year in Madden 23 alone. He was the undisputed best player in the world last year. He flooded Henry in the Madden Bowl, the last tournament of the year, $250,000 to first place, flooded Henry. So he should have been number one heading into this tournament. Things changed. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But yeah, we're a bit outmatched here, but I felt confident going into it that we could pull off one of the biggest upsets in MCS history. And I got the pup with me right here, man. Underdogs, no pun intended. There's Dobby. There's Primrose, my girlfriend, and there's my boy Bobby right there. Henry on the right, the King in the back. I got the crew out there, all right? I got my little fan squad showing support, showing love, and I'm just super excited to have this opportunity to be on the stage. And I think we played pretty well this game. So we start the game off right here, and I'm running trips tight end, which is the primary offensive formation I used to qualify for the tournament. However, I did kind of change my playbook. I went from Packers, which is the playbook I used to qualify, to run and gun. And the reason I did this, a lot of people ask me this question. Run and gun was the playbook I actually started the year off in. I switched to Packers. I felt like Packers was much better versus man coverage. I felt like Dez was going to run a lot more zone, which I was a little bit wrong about. All the film that I had on Dez kind of indicated he was going to run a different defense than what he ran. I mean, it's not really surprising he ran wide, but he was running a different standard shell than I thought he would. And he was doing a good job of running a lot of man coverage here, mixing in some zones on the right side as well. And right there, really not what you want to see. Intentional grounding, 2nd and 25. I just didn't want to fumble in the pocket there. Probably should have scrambled outside of the tackle boxes, threw the ball away in that case. You know, Warren Moon's got some decent speed, but with his safeties at linebacker there running me down, it can be pretty difficult. And right here, I'm not looking for a big chunk play. I'm just trying to hit my flat and make it a manageable third down. Unfortunately, my guys run right into each other. That's supposed to happen. So the flat's supposed to pull down any zone over there. Like, that's an intended route combo. And then the drag just goes over top, and then it sets almost a screen with the curl route above them. And for whatever reason, my flat just hit its intended spot and then immediately turned upfield, you know, by his own fruition. So that was a little frustrating right there. 3rd and 25, though. He plays really good defense again, running a man and zone hybrid. But Warren Moon, he has that mobility. If you have a mobile quarterback, you definitely got to utilize it this year, especially if your opponent's only rushing 3 people. If they're putting 8 zones out there, it can be incredibly difficult to move the ball, especially if you're playing someone like Dez, who's a very high level defensive player, makes good adjustments. Things are not going to be open, so don't be afraid to scramble. And right here, 4th and 10, I see his outside corner come inside, which kind of tells me that he manned him up on the inside player, or that means he just did that and then put him in an outside third, which is exactly the case right there. We hit the corner route. It's a beautiful dot on a much needed 4th and 10. I mean, we turned the ball over on our first drive. Things are not going to be pretty whatsoever. Like, we are in danger of getting flooded early, and that's the number one thing you don't want to do on the big stage. You don't want to lose by more than like 10 points. Anything more than 10 or anything more than 7 is honestly probably just embarrassing. You always want to give yourself a chance, and it starts very early in the game. Right there, I did have a touchdown on the angle route, but because I scrambled to the right, I felt like I was getting shedded off the left. I can't throw that across the body this year.
2nd down and 10. 3-man rush this time from Dez as Moon looks left side, has a man open. It's Jalen Hyatt, the rookie, end zone, touchdown.
Right here, though, we cook up an absolute laser. And because I'm running this run and gun offense, I already have a very unique play in this playbook that I don't have in Packers. It's called Smash, I believe, and the middle wide receiver in the trips formation is on a corner route. When I played my qualifier games, I had a slot apprentice on Jerry Rice, which gives him that corner route. So because of that, I don't need to use that ability. So instead, I use outside apprentice on Jalen Hyatt, that LTD Giants wide receiver, and we can put him on C routes. So I streak the middle wide receiver in trips. I run a corner route to the outside, and if we actually go back, oh, well, they're going to run a replay for me. How nice of them. You guys can see right here that we basically just have a C route, and then we have a streak, and I just added this new feature where I can draw my screen. The only thing I failed to realize is the only thing I failed to realize, boys, is I didn't think how I would erase it all. So let me Oh, give me a minute, boys. Give me a minute. All right, so I figured it out. I made some improvements, trying to upgrade the streaming and video quality by, being able to telestrate over my videos. And I didn't account, again, for being able to erase what I just drew, but I figured it out. Dez running the Jets offensive playbook. He's going to audible a ton to this bunch strong right here. And he hits this in route, and my safety just dumbs out. Pursuit angles have just been forever terrible in Madden. And right there, it cost me a 70-yard touchdown for Dez. After scoring on our first drive, drawing up a really nice combo, getting some momentum, and feeling confident in ourselves, giving that up kind of off some BS is a little tilting, I won't lie. Just especially considering Dez is not a very good offensive player. Like, he's solid. He's better than most players in the world, but he's known for his defense, right? He's going to make a couple of bad reads in a game, similar to ourselves. And so it's a little unfortunate when we're able to give him big chunk plays like that. And again, because I'm a defensive player, I always want an opportunity for free points. You'll see a lot of pro players, in big, I click on and my guy's just running by him. He gets such a wonky animation. I don't know, dude. Like, that was frustrating, but I'm always taking my kicks out. If you watch this tournament, guys like Henry, guys like Gabigol, John Beast, they don't ever take the kick out because they don't want to risk fumbling with Deion Sanders. I don't care. I'm taking that risk. I want a free touchdown because my offense is not that strong. And, even though I say that, we did have a good opening drive. That's why I like getting ball first. I'm also a little weird in that aspect. I love receiving the ball in this game. I feel like I throw a lot of picks on my first drive. So if I really dial it in, if I really focus and score early or score on my first drive, especially if I get 7 as opposed to 3, like, I really have all the confidence in the world. And I feel like that confidence was dashed a little bit, again, as soon as we gave up that 70-yard touchdown. But I'm not going to force anything here. The drag was open. It got by his user. But again, I'm not forcing anything here. I'm trying to avoid sacks. I don't want to get behind the sticks. I don't want to throw near his user. He has a very elite level user. And he's constantly doing this thing where he's manning my guy up and then backing him off as well. And he's leaving this right flat open because, again, man coverage on the left the majority of the time, a coverage shell on the right. And I'm really trying to take advantage of that with the running back apprentice ability on Bo Jackson. So I'm constantly putting him on table routes to the right side. Right here, we go over top, Jalen Hyatt. I go with the high ball. So I go with LB over top because he baseline pressed. If we go back and watch that real quick, he baseline presses. So you guys can see here, he comes out in normal alignment. This outside corner is over here. Let me go ahead and change the color of this pen. So you guys can see over here that he is walking over to have perfect alignment over my outside wide receiver. But then he makes an adjustment right here to baseline, and now he comes back inside to the right here. And because of this, I try to make the quick adjustment and just put my outside guy, Jalen Hyatt, who's pretty quick in this game, 87 speed, on a streak to see if we can get by him. So I quick snap him right here. One quick adjustment, play action. We're going over top. We have a few steps on him. Cromartie's big. I have to go high ball. I don't want to throw a pick. And it's just underthrown from Warren Moon, unfortunately. I think maybe with an inside pass lead, I could certainly go that route instead of going high ball next time. I just, again, didn't want to risk a pick. But I'm going back to peppering these flats. I got to take my checkdowns at first, a good defensive player. It just makes it so much easier. Like, Dez is going to be driven crazy by trying to stop the flats every single time. Like, if I take my check down for 5, 6, probably even more yards with how good Bo Jackson is after the catch every single time, Dez is going to lose his mind and make that adjustment almost immediately following that play. So that just makes the rest of my offense so much easier because now the big plays are opening up. Right here, he sends a blitz. I have circle opening up wide open for a touchdown. That verticals play with this wide receiver on almost like a crosser. He's like a crosser streak, is so good against man coverage this year in trip side end. And then right here, I'm going to go back to the route combo that scored me a touchdown in my opening drive. But Dez actually makes a really good adjustment. He switches from the 3-3 Cub to Dollar. He runs cover 3 Cloud and double Mabels that left-hand side, which means he sets his flat zones to 25. He sets his curl flats, his purple zones to 5, and he's just double stacking his zones. So he has a purple, a 25-yard cloud flat, and then he has a deep blue over top. So he's basically saying, Kmac, you are not allowed to throw down the sideline. You have to throw over the middle of the field where my user is. I throw it anyway. I think we have good leverage. It probably wasn't the best read in the world, but again, I'm not an elite offensive player, all right? If I see a window, if I see a player open at all, I'm taking the risk. I take a risk right there. Hyatt boxes him out, makes a beautiful play. If Dez had his zone drops on 20 as opposed to 25, we probably just don't throw that, or if we do throw it, it probably is picked. So a minor mistake there from Dez. We take advantage of it, and yeah, certainly a little bit lucky to catch that ag, but we did have good leverage, and yeah, Dez not happy about it. You know, he's kind of rubbing his eyes like, how is Kmac scoring on me right now? Like, this dude sucks on offense, which, you know, is probably pretty fair. Right here, I go with the halfback counter. I hit him with the Jurtle to regain some momentum. Hopefully, you know, catches user off guard as well. And I feel like that was a touchdown. I don't know how that wasn't ruled a touchdown. I'm like laying in the end zone, but you know, it's not a big deal. Like, how often is the game going to be wrong? It's a video game. Like, I can tell where I'm at. So 1st and goal from the 1 here. I do go goal line, and this is a really questionable decision for me. I've always been a freestyler. I've never really been a man with a plan. Like, I always kind of just go out there and just make a play. Like, that's just kind of my motto. It's what I live by in Madden. I'm a lot different than somebody like Dez or like Henry, who's just like a robot, right? Like, they're like robots on offense. They practice everything a million times. I have never ran strong toss in my life this year, and now I know why I shouldn't have ran it in a live event for $40,000. Like, a terrible play call. We lose 6 yards. Now we just went from almost a guaranteed touchdown on the 1 yard line, where it's incredibly difficult to stop people, to now we have to try and score from 2nd and goal, which is really hard this year. Red zone offense, incredibly difficult. Right there, my controller just like locks up. I couldn't put anybody on a hot route. I couldn't snap the ball. I couldn't motion. I just told Dez, and you know, Dez was totally fine with it. He declines. And there actually is like an EA employee that stands behind you and monitors the game as well. That way, if there's any bugs or glitches in the game, you can address it immediately, basically tell you to play on, or, you know, tell the opponent to run off sides, for example, or in some cases they actually reset the whole game. It's happened quite a few times in previous years. You know, there's always a lot of bugs in Madden. But 3rd and goal here, I am going to make some personnel adjustments. I am going to sub in a running back here at my middle wide receiver position. That way we can actually audible down to I-Form Pro. I'm going to run the stretch alert lookie. Well, actually, no, right here, I come out in strip set end. I think about audibling down to I-Form Pro, and then I change my mind here at the last second. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call timeout, and I have a play call in mind that I think might just work right here. And you know, I told you guys, I'm a risk taker on offense. I am not worried about turning the ball over. I want to score. I go speed option right there. We Jurtle, we take a hit stick. It's pretty hard to fumble to hit sticks with your quarterback on QB design runs this year. It's really difficult. The only way really to fumble in that situation is to get user stripped, which again is a risk we're taking, but it's something I can live with. Here, I'm going to go back to my original 3rd down play call. I'm going to run I-Form RPO stretch. I'm going to go all the way to the right, and it looks like his outside corner is going to hold that, like almost contain on the outside. So I try to cut in, and Bo Jackson, after I hit it, that's why I love the Jurtle, man. The Jurtle gives me a ton of momentum. We basically fall forward from the 1 yard line, get a beautiful animation, definitely get lucky right there. But yeah, it's Bo Jackson, man. Bo Jackson fights for us. Dez obviously can't be too happy about that one. And it was a good drive. It was a great drive from us. We just unfortunately made a mistake of running strong toss on the goal line. Like, no reason for me to ever call that ever again. And I can assure you that I won't. But yeah, here's Bo Jackson. I hit him with the Jurtle. I just misinterpreted it. Bo Jackson just fights for a yard, and I'm getting fired up right now, baby. I'm talking. Rose is getting fired up. Bobby is getting fired up, man. The boys are feeling good. We're feeling confident, trying to play with some passion. You know, again, a lot of these guys like Dez, which this is no knock to Dez. Dez is an awesome player. Henry, these guys like to keep to themselves, right? They're silent killers. I know that I'm at a disadvantage in this game. I know that he's subjectively a better Madden player than me. That's not to say I don't think I can win this game, because right now I'm thinking I know I can. I know for a fact I can win this game. I'm fired up. I'm getting animated. You know, I'm playing with a lot of passion, a lot of fuel right now, because I really want this. That's no act, man. This is a lot of money on the line. This is what I play for. This is what I live for right here. And winning this game would really mean the world to me. But it's still an uphill battle. You know, Dez has had really no resistance on offense yet. And he's played pretty decent defense as well. You know, we've come close to making a few mistakes. I think we've just barely escaped a few times as well. And he's constantly going back to this wide trail play in bunch strong. And right there, that backside in route, that backside post is just giving me so much trouble. The defense that I thought would stop him is just not doing the best job that I thought it could. I thought it would do a much better job at defending any routes coming from that solo wide receiver. Not the case so far, and I think I really let that get to my head. Like, I struggled a lot defensively this game, which is not something I ever like admitting, because I feel like I'm a top 5, top 3 defensive player in the world. I feel like I'm adaptable, and the defense that I had planned for Dez just didn't really work, especially early on in the game. I think I should have adapted a lot sooner. I just trusted in the process. You know, I did quite a bit of labbing. I talked with NoahUpNxt, who's, you know, a 2-time belt winner, probably the best defensive player in the world. And he's like, dude, yeah, this is similar to the defense you already run. I think you should run it. And I just stuck to it too much. I wasn't, you know, thinking freely on defense the way I usually do. I think I got maybe a bit too tunnel vision, a bit too stubborn, and it definitely cost me early in this game. You know, scoring our first 2 drives, I feel like I should be winning most of my games here. Not to say that we don't, but, you know, I want to get off to a strong lead early. I don't want to play a close game with Dez, because Dez has the experience, you know, being in live events. He's made $350,000 in the last year alone. He certainly has an advantage in a closer matchup. So here, I want to make him work. I'm going to go down to the 3-3 Cub as well. I'm going to try to stop the run a little bit more, slow down Bo Jackson, force him to pass. And yeah, he's just doing a good job of utilizing the whole playbook, passing, running, making good reads, not making any mistakes so far. Now, again, Dez audibles to the bunch strong right here, and you guys are going to see that he actually motions out his running back to the right side, and I knew what was coming. I just, with the way my defense was aligned right here, I dragged my right safety all the way down in the box. You guys see here, I tried to run back to it, and I ended up leaving the corner route on the left wide open. I knew exactly what play was coming. You guys could see my user, and I just, with the way I aligned my defense, again, I didn't know what adjustments to make there to stop that specific play. And I really wish I did, because that play certainly killed me, especially in that spot right there. I need to play better red zone defense. Bo Jackson falling forward once again for Dez, and he's up to the 3-yard line here. Now, 2nd and goal from the 3 here. My scouting report told me that Dez in this formation loves to pass. He does like almost a little escape artist glitch, where he basically he double teams one of the interior defensive tackles or double teams the end, and then immediately scrambles with his quarterback. So I had the scouting report. I was completely prepared. I click on to my linebacker B-Wags right there and just user rush him on the outside. So I basically user rush / user contain him. Beautiful defense. That is Dez's go-to play in the red zone. 4-4 stack here. Trying to stop the run, and Bo Jackson, he just falls forward every play. Like, he has so much momentum. He's such a big body. He's such a fighter, and I would have loved to tackle the 3 there. I think we almost forced Dez to take 3, considering he gets ball at a half. Unfortunately, though, again, Bo Jackson, we got lucky with him falling forward. His Bo Jackson is doing the same thing. He's up to the 1-yard line, and now this is almost no decision for Dez, right? You have to go for this. You tie the game up, and then you get ball at a half, and then at that point, he's pretty much in control for the entire second half, barring some sort of big mistake. So right here, again, I'm anticipating run pretty much 100 out of 100 times here. I could have ran commit, but run committing I don't think is a very good option this year. I felt confident in my 4-4 stack defense. However, you guys could see Dez made a really nice adjustment. He actually IDs my user. That way, one of his offensive line picks me up. Really nice adjustment there from Dez. Really heads up play, and it pays off for him. He ties the game up here, and now we're going to be in a tough spot. We don't really have any time to drive down and get points of our own. And now, like I said, Dez has all the momentum, right? He has pretty much everything going in his favor right now. He's playing good offense until he throws a user pick. You guys can see me stand up right there. I lurked him. He got away with one. Got pretty lucky right there. And that's what I'm saying. Dez is a very good offensive player, but he's not an elite offensive player. He's going to make a mistake. And right there, unfortunately, my user just a little too sleepy. We're not able to capitalize. I mean, think about how nice that would have been. Likely a pick 6. We just take the lead immediately, go up 7.5, and then suddenly we're in control the entire second half. So a bit unfortunate there. It was a little bit frustrating, but as you guys can see, it didn't even bother me. I'm completely locked back in. I'm hunched forward. My posture is terrible, boys. Look how you can't even. I'm head glitching the player cam in the top left. His posture is a little bit better, but he's locked in as well, and his run is killing me. These RPO runs are really good because if you only rush 3 people, your offensive line is going to get pancakes. You basically force somebody to blitz here, at least 4 people, which is not something I want to do. I want to play coverage versus Dez. I want to make him put out good route combos that he thinks can beat zone. And right here, he goes He goes trail route, and we have a decent enough user to knock it out. I'm smiling right there. You know, I'm feeling pretty good about that one. Just need a little bit more pressure there. Like, we played good initial coverage, and just nobody got home. So my 3-man rush kind of let me down this game, you know, especially considering I was using all 6 of my AP on my defensive line. I had double or nothing recuperation on Bruce Smith, the D-tackle, and then I had defensive rally on Curse, my left end. And yeah, I don't feel like I got any pressure this entire game. Right here, he makes this read late, which I'm a little frustrated. He was able to make that read late and still convert it. Again, I just need pressure. Like, his offensive line is red with stamina. They're tired, and they're still just blocking their asses off. Like, my 3-man rush was a big reason and a big factor I even qualified for this tournament in the first place. And for whatever reason, they just were not doing the job that I wanted them to. Right here, Dez is going to go to the under center escape artist thing again. I shift my line. I do not contain. I actually go ahead, blitz off that edge. I'm anticipating the rollout. My guy shoots him in the backfield for a big time loss. Red zone defense is our strength, and I think this is an opportunity for us to make a stand here and hold Dez to 3 points. Now, Dez actually audibles here. He always comes out in bunch and then audibles around again. Players like this who utilize the whole playbook and have multiple different play calls out of different formations are incredibly difficult to defend against. He's actually going with a wheel route here. I do have a purple zone and a hook curl over there, but neither one of them play it, and it's just too easy. You know, again, that's just a formation. I haven't really seen Dez run a lot. He's mostly in the bunch or the bunch strong, and he just draws up a really nice combo right there that works. And yeah, down 7 now. We're trailing, boys. We are not in a great spot here. Now, I am going to open up the playbook. I feel like he's seen all my plays so far, so we're going to run a little tight flex, which is not an offense I've ran a lot this year. However, I did run it for a few months as my primary offense in the summer of Madden 23, so I am familiar with it. I don't think the game defensively is that different from last year, so again, just kind of freestyling an offense. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm like, Dez already seen all my plays, man. Like, I got to start mixing things up, drawing up route combos I've never seen before, utilizing offensive formations I haven't really ran before this year. And yeah, just trying to catch him off guard, which is what I feel like you have to do versus an elite defensive player. I'm going flood concept on the left here, man coverage, Jerry Rice wide open corner route. I try to throw it, ball hits the turf. Not very good pocket. I think I kind of just wandered right into his contain there. Now here, curl flat, sends 5, guy A-gaps me, nano blitzes me straight up the middle. You guys can see how fast he comes in. I feel like we make a pretty good read under pressure. We pick up 3 yards, which is not much, but it's certainly something, and it's going to make this 3rd and 7 a lot easier. Pretty good coverage from Dez. Yeah, I mean, pretty lucky right there. He has a nice lurk. I think with a little more patience, we can, you know, set our feet and then hit our deep crosser over top. I just wanted to pick up the 3rd down. I think I jumped the gun a little bit too much. And yeah, we kind of get away with one, just like Dez got away with one on the first play out of half. So, I mean, we'll take it. Users this year, not the best, especially without the pick artist ability, which with only 6 AP and pick artist costing 2 AP, that's exactly what Dez is doing. He has 3 pick artists. He has 1 in his outside corner on the right, 1 on the left, so Cromartie, and then Deion Sanders at safety. So he has 3 of them. He had to pick between his strong safety and his free safety, and he puts the pick artist on his free safety. And right here, good defense once again from Dez. We'll just throw the ball away. Yeah, just perfect adjustments, nothing open. And now on 3rd and 10, Dez is going to switch to dollar. I feel like he's probably going to blitz here, although, again, he could go to that cover 3 cloud. Since he's backing off that outside corner on the trip side, he could be going to cover 3 cloud. He does not. He goes with the blitz right here. We'll take our immediate check down. Now, I think with, again, a little bit more patience in the pocket, he manned up Jerry Rice on the streak on the inside wide receiver, and we did burn him because he did shade down. However, I wanted to get it off as quickly as possible against the blitz, which is once again what we do right here on a medium post over the middle of the field. It cooks the cross man coverage and a big 4th down conversion. Once again, man, we are lights out on 4th down right now. Yet to fail one. I'm yelling at Dez right now. I'm trying to get in his head.
Moon back to pass. He's got time. It's picked up. Excellent. He's got a man over the middle. It's Jerry Rice. 10, 5, end zone.
He loses if he turns the ball over this drive. Come on, baby.
Still yet to see the defense step up and put the offense off the field.
Hey, he's chirping. He's chirping at Dez now. Let's see how he reacts.
Yeah, just a beautiful dot right there to Jerry Rice. So clean. And I'm yelling at Dez because, again, I'm not playing very good defense right now. I don't really feel like I'm playing to the best of my ability. And so I want to yell at him as he makes a terrible read. Should have been an interception. We make the perfect adjustment. A little frustrating right there. That's kind of his second mistake of the game. Yeah, just not a very good read, but I think it worked. I yelled at him. I decided to talk some shit, and I get in his head. I forced him to make a bad read on the first play, and dude, I looked at the Twitch chat. I looked at the YouTube comments on this. The casuals do not like it when you talk trash in this game, like, at all. And I don't even feel like I was really talking trash. I was just telling them, like, hey, man, if you turn the ball over right here, like, you're going to lose the game. You know, I wasn't talking trash. I was just letting them know what's up. I was letting them know the situation and the gravity of it. But no, I was trying to get in his head. I feel like I did a pretty good job initially, but he dots me there on second down. And then right here, Shannon Sharp is manned up, shaded outside. Just, you know, looking back at it, the defense wasn't even that bad. You know, we gave up the 70-yard touchdown on the dumbed out pursuit angle. We did not make very good adjustments on certain plays down in the red zone. And then other times, like, I just need a little bit more from Joey Blunt right there if he's manned up to the correct wide receiver. Route combo was killing me once again. He goes back to this, and this was the one route combo I just really had no answer for. This time I am going to make the adjustment and run the cover 2 on the right side. And you guys can see I drop him back into a cloud flat, but because he was pressed, he just doesn't get far back enough. And then also on top of that, when somebody audibles in this game, you can no longer back off your corner. So in order to back him off, I would have to click onto him and manually move him back. Everything else was decent coverage, though. You guys could see on this left side that this guy is completely covered, and then our user takes up the middle of the field here to Bo Jackson on the streak. So it was the right idea. It's just, it's a bug in the game. I can't back off the guy. He's going to quick snap me, and I just wasn't quick enough. So maybe call a timeout there, although, I don't know. I mean, do I waste a second half timeout? I don't know. I just wish the game worked better. Like, I just wish that bug hasn't been in the game, you know, for 2 or 3 years now. It's super frustrating. Being able to back off your corners and zone coverage is so important. And after your opponent audibles, not being able to do that is just such a hindrance on defense. Now it's time to respond. 4:52. You know, the thought is in the back of my head of trying to clock this whole drive, but again, I don't know if I'm a good enough offensive player to actually do that. And I've gotten myself burned a few times in the past trying to manage clock that, like, efficiently and that down to the second. So I'm just going to try to score here. I mean, if it's there, right there, running back, I mean, kind of open. It was open early. I think if I threw it when I saw it, you know, the deep half safety picks it off there. And a lot of people, you know, again, looking back at the comments, are like, oh, Kmac, you missed this guy wide open and this guy wide open. You know, I'm sure I missed a few reads. Everybody misses reads every game, but it's tough when you're in a situation like this where you're playing in an environment that you're not used to, on a, you know, in a different chair, a different monitor height. I'm playing on a whole different console. I'm used to Xbox. I'm playing on PlayStation. I got one of the best defensive players in the world right next to me. I got 40 grand on the line. Like, you know, it's not as easy to make reads. And I think all things considered, I've done a pretty good job so far. Like, our passer efficiency is not the greatest. We're at like 60% right now, but we got a lot of yards. We got touchdowns. We've scored on every drive so far. So, you know, the difference in the game really right now is Dez managing the clock perfectly before half. Right here, we'll go out route. Man coverage was just so good that time. Shannon Sharp with a nice catch, but it's not going to do a lot for us. It really doesn't change the situation. Yet again, another 4th down. And yeah, living on 4th down all game can really only last so long, right? Like, we've already gotten, what, four 4th downs? Like, at some point you think I would just make it easier on myself and just try to get the first down on 1st through 3rd, but not the case so far. I'm going corner route left side, backside slant, and then drag, and then right there we'll just hit our tight end drag. It is open. I think we had the corner route even more open, but I'm just trying to pick up. I want the first down. I'm not worried about a big gain. I saw the tight end was open. I hit him. It's a simple and easy dot, and we just had enough separation to make that throw. So again, here I'm going back to tight flex. I'm gonna try to hit Dez with a bomb right here. So streak deep post route. I want to see if this can, you know, manipulate his cover 3. It doesn't whatsoever. He actually runs maybe even a cover 4 right there. Cover 3 mans up the outside guy. No chance of getting open, and we'll bring up second down here. But again, Dez has just done a fantastic job so far this game of mixing up the blitz, mixing up the zone coverage right here. Not a lot open. I mean, I wish Jerry Rice makes that catch. I feel like it was open enough. We've made quite a few contested catches so far this game, and that's just the way Madden 24 works. I maybe had the post route backside, but because I sent 5 people out and he blitzed 5, I'm always cautious of, again, that end or one of those D tackles coming in completely free, which is a lot of times what happens when you're going against 3-3 Cub and they're blitzing everybody. Right here, I'm going to motion out the running back once again to get better spacing. He blitzes 5 people. And nothing really open outside of Jerry Rice once again on the slant, on the drag, whatever it was. I don't even remember. Wide open though. We make the perfect read. The only thing that was open, and we are just fighting on 3rd and 4th downs right now. It's not pretty, but it's working. And you guys can see here, there's a bit more indecisiveness in my play calling. Like, again, I've ran all my plays. Dez is so good at adjusting that I'm really trying to come up with new route combos. I'm really trying to adjust to what I see on the field on the defensive side of the ball. And right there, that's one of them. I kind of noticed he was putting his linebacker in a hard flat. So we just put one of our wide receivers more towards the sideline on a quick out route, an easy pickup of 7 yards. And that's really all we need right now. I'm going back here to sending out 5, hoping that he doesn't blitz. He doesn't. Nothing really open. Good defense again, trying to avoid the intentional grounding by escaping the tackle box and not falling too far back that the ball doesn't cross the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 3, I'm going to look wheel route or tight end drag. He guards the tight end drag. We hit our wheel route. Bo Jackson with a nice little move, and Bo Jackson is going to go out of bounds here, which is perfect for me because at this point I've decided there's no way I can clock this with a 30-second play clock. I'm going to get out of bounds. I'm going to try to score as quickly as possible. I might even onside kick him. I don't know, maybe kick out of bounds, try to shorten the field a little bit. That way we can't be clocked ourselves. But again, if we can just score here and play defense, I like our chances. I love playing defense in high pressure situations. I always feel like the pressure is on the offensive player. Right here, we run a bunch of streaks. He has a really good user. Now, this was a mistake looking back at it. It was a mistake and it wasn't a mistake because if we watch it again, I go 5 streaks. He runs cover 2 and he does an awesome job at splitting both sides or both middle streaks with his user. Now, he drops a super deep cloud on this left side. So this is not really a throw we can make until super late. And you can kind of see that his Deion Sanders free safety is kind of turning in that direction. So I immediately rule out square. I immediately rule out these 2 guys. And then I kind of look at triangle here. And I think I just make this read a little bit too late. I just don't see the running back. Now, this is a tight throw. It's not really a throw in the moment I feel like I can make. An elite level player would pass lead this all the way to the right, all the way towards the pylon, and I'm just not an elite offensive player. I think in the moment I was like, I can't throw that. Like that safety is going to get over there and make a play on it, and I don't want to take that risk. That would just be embarrassing here. It's only 1st down. Why would we even throw this? So all I do here is simply, well, I should have thrown the ball away, but Curse just mauls my right tackle. We take a sack, a big sack in hindsight. I really should have, immediately threw the ball. Well, immediately throwing the ball away with that many streaks is certainly an intentional grounding. So maybe I scramble up the middle, have better pocket with Warren Moon. I try to scramble to the sideline. It just doesn't work. Right here, we'll take a quick check down to Shannon Sharp. We'll pick up about 3 or 4 yards. Again, doesn't really help us a lot, but it does make it a more manageable 3rd and 16. And I'm just thinking here, you guys can see me scratching my beard. I'm like, what do I call, man? He's in this cover 3. He's double mabling a lot. He has a good user. I go to gun doubles, which is the first time I've called this formation really this year at all. It's kind of just a mix-up. I'm going running back streak. Hopefully he follows it, and then either we have the corner route on the left or the tight end drag. The tight end drag is the only route on the field that gets open. So again, we make the right read. We pick up about 6 or 7 yards, and we make it a very manageable 4th and 10. We're 5 for 5, I think, so far this game, or 4 for 4, one of the two. I don't know. Who's to say we don't pick it up once again? This time Dez is going to dollar though, and I have a pretty good idea of what I want to run here. I'm going to motion out the running back. I'm going to look deep tight end corner route to the right side with a backside dig and a backside post. And then we'll see here what happens. He has a good user. I think we have square maybe late, and I'm pretty frustrated that I don't get that ball off. Just a little bit too indecisive, but again, I don't really feel like I had much. So let's go ahead, watch it back. So Dez runs a cover 3. He has a deep flat on the left here, a yellow, another flat, and then 3 deep zones over top here. So let's think about it. He mans up our tight end. So he mans up our tight end. He shades outside with a deep blue over here on the right, a cloud underneath it, and then our tight end manned up. It's really not going to be open. So my eyes immediately dart back to the left side where we're creating a high-low concept. Now I think the problem with this is that these routes kind of ran too close to each other. Now, we did have triangle, but I didn't really look at it because he's on a flat. This is literally a flat. Like the thought of ever throwing a flat route never really occurs to me on 4th and 10. And I feel confident that with pretty much every zone, once we clear this hook curl over here, like either square or circle is going to be open. And then as this play develops, it's like I can't, because I think I'm too close to the end zone here. This post is being guarded by the safety right here, this inside third or this inside quarter, whatever it is. And then now it's at this moment where I see my outside wide receiver turning up the field here from the flat, and that's when I should hit that player. But again, that's just not a read that I typically make. It was really just intended to pull out any yellow zone that otherwise might be guarding this backside dig. So I kind of just missed the read here, which is a little bit unfortunate. And I was just too indecisive. Now I obviously can't throw it. He's being guarded by the cloud flat over there. And then I feel like we have a window for a split second where we get by his user and maybe underneath this cloud on the outside, and it just takes too long. I maybe could have scrambled as well. I was just afraid of the hook curl in the middle of the field, and the indecisiveness just kills me. You can only live on 4th down for so long. We finally get stopped. You know, I feel like we've been clutch all game, and then on the actual 4th down we needed, it just wasn't enough. But there's still a lot of time left. There's still 2:44, 3 timeouts. You know, I haven't gotten a stop yet. I don't know if I've really, well, we've gotten close a few times, I suppose, but I felt hopeless on defense for the most part. He's going to audible here to a formation we've never seen. He's going to run the ball, and he's going to pick up 10 yards for a first down, which is not a big deal in this situation. I mean, it's still north of the 2:30 mark, which means he has to run another play before the 2-minute warning. We, of course, still have all 3 timeouts. And now I'm pretty confident that he's just going to be running the ball. So I'm going down to 3-3 Cub. I'm going to try to be super aggressive with my user. He goes to the bubble here, misses the block. Richard Sherman makes a nice play for us. We make a tackle, 2nd and 8. I'll use my first timeout. Dez is going to go halfback base here. We have a nice click on. We make a nice user tackle, 3rd and 7. I'll let it hit the 2-minute warning. Now, Dez is kind of thinking about it here. I mean, you pretty much have to pass. You just have to pass, because if you run the ball here, I'm going to stop it. And then I'm going to get the ball back and then probably go for 2 if I score. So he goes in route, and it's just not a good read again. I feel like it should have been picked. It was perfect adjustments, and that was pretty tilting. I mean, again, he's made a few mistakes. He's just kind of gotten away with them, which we have too, right? Like, nobody's really been punished for any of their mistakes so far. 4th and 3 coming up. If you're in Dez's situation, you have to go for it. It's really no question, once again, basically here at midfield.
Any time to send the house in the kitchen sink is right now.
I agree. Go. 4th and 3.
Chooses not to blitz.
Over the middle.
Wow.
And Kmac has life. We saw that in the fantasy game, TD. A 4th down breakup of a pass, and it happens again here in the studio.
Wow. And the thing about it, we talked about him being rushed once again. I don't feel like he had to throw that ball as fast as he did. And it seemed like the ball was just a little bit out of reach. Jerry Rice trying to give his best effort to stretch and reach for it, unable to bring it in.
I felt the same way. I believe if that pass don't, like, he's stretching out for it. If he hit him in the numbers, I think the goal holds on to it there.
Let's go!
Pick artists, let's go! Come on.
That's a book!
Wow. In K Spade, that's a big difference and a huge play. That pick artist isn't the same, but you see it just won the game. Well, let me not speak too soon. It put Dez in a great position.
A tough break right there. Ball gets overthrown to Dion. A little shoulder shrug from us. You guys could tell. Yeah, a little unfortunate. I mean, let's go ahead and back it up real quick. Now, here's my thought process with this play call. Again, I'm going with something unique. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. So I'm going tight end crosser. I'm going flat route from Jerry Rice, and then we have Devin Hester on a slant. Now, I know that Devin Hester is going to be manned up here. He's going to blitz. If he does blitz, he's going to be manned up by Deion Sanders, this free safety, who is more than 13. He's like 14 or 15 yards off the line of scrimmage here and backed off, shaded up coverage. And so I'm thinking, you know what? If he blitzes, it's going to be straight man coverage. It is. He has an outside third here. He mans up the flat, and then he mans up the slant here, and then plays zone coverage on the right. So cover 2 shell on the right, and I throw it. But as you guys can see right here, he gets bumped. So he literally slightly bumps this player who's manned up on our flat, and because of that, it messes up the throw, and it just goes right over the top of his fingertips. He has the pick artist as well, which basically allows you to catch the ball through other players. It was just a combination of him bumping into the defender, which is honestly just a little bit unlucky. And then the fact that he is pick artist, which is like also a little bit lucky in that sense, but it's pretty frustrating, man. That's a tough way to turn the ball over. I don't really feel like that deserved to be a pick, but I don't know. It is an interception. It's just something we have to live with. Now, this part gets interesting because I feel like I still have a slight chance. I mean, if we use all our timeouts here, we'll get the ball back with like 15 seconds. I mean, we've seen crazier stuff in Madden. I've seen somebody qualify for the tournament or win one of their like 3rd or 4th round games by completing an 80-yard Hail Mary. So, you know, for $15,000 to move on to the next round, like I'm always going to want the chance. We play good run defense here, 3rd and 6, 52 seconds. So at this point, you know, if the next play only lasts like 4 seconds like the last one, we'd have, again, around 15 seconds to try and get 7. I mean, we could potentially block the punt as well. He's going to go back to the same run. And then right here, if you guys look in the top left, I can't move anything. I'm like, I can't move nothing. I couldn't move my user. I couldn't make adjustments. And it was super frustrating. And I called the admin. I'm like, dude, I can't make any adjustments. And basically what happens is they come over to me and they tell me like, hey, we can't do anything about it. Like, we know it's a bug in the game, but there's nothing we can do about it. And it happened multiple times. If you guys remember earlier in the game on offense, I had to look over to Dez and basically tell him that, hey, you know, I can't do anything. I'm just going to take a delay game. He declined it for me. I had to use a timeout early in the game on defense. That's why I wasn't able to get the ball back before half. You know, Dez was able to clock me. I had to use my 2 timeouts before that drive. It happened twice on defense as well. It's super frustrating. And, you know, I want a chance here for $15,000. Why would I not say something to the admin? It's clearly a bug in the game. And, yeah, I mean, I kind of got flamed for it on Twitter. I got flamed in the Twitch chat. I got flamed in the YouTube comments. Everyone's calling me a crybaby and a sore loser. And listen, I'll sit here and I'll say it. Like, Dez played an awesome game, right? Dez is a fantastic player. He's easily one of the best players in the world. And I told you guys, I kind of felt hopeless on defense the whole game. He played almost perfect on offense. He made a few minor mistakes, as did I. So I feel like it was relatively even in that respect. And he played a good game. I felt like I was behind the entire time. I felt like it was a good game, though. Definitely came down to the wire. And like I said, you know, if the game is bugging, I'm going to bring something up. Now, I should have mentioned it earlier. You know, I made a comment to Dez about it earlier, and that's why I declined my penalty. But I guess I should have made a comment to the admin. Looking back at it, I mean, what good would that really even do? These guys don't even play their own game. You know what I mean? They don't even play their own game. They don't know that this happens. Apparently, Dez was telling me that it's like an invisible menu. You have to hit like one of the bumpers, I think left bumper, right bumper, to get rid of it. And it's like, I wasn't being a bad sport. I mean, I'm a little frustrated that it happened like this. They had to bring over the head admin to talk about it. And let's see if we can go back here. Yeah, he comes over. He starts talking to me about it. He's like, hey, man, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't adjust on the fly. And I was like, dude, I just want my 15 seconds back. And right here, I'm pretty frustrated. I'm pretty frustrated that the game just doesn't work. But, again, I'm not being a sore loser. I'm not upset. I'm upset that I lost. But I'm more upset that the game just doesn't work. Because on top of this, you know, it happened multiple times to me on both offense and defense this game. Or one time on offense, 3 times on defense. It's like I also had the headset issue at the start, which is a little frustrating. I feel like they should have tested them. And then, you know, on top of it, there was another glitch in the game. If you guys watched my qualifier video, we had to restart a game, and admin told us to restart the game and reset it to a certain situation because my quarterback froze. If you made an audible and then snapped the ball immediately after, your quarterback would freeze in the pocket and he would just stand there like a statue. And they told us before the game, like, they pulled all the competitors together and told us that, hey, if that happens, it's your fault. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, how is that our fault? Like, that's your fault. Like, y'all make the game. So I don't know. It was just frustrating in that respect. I feel like when we're playing for that much money, like, the game should just function. You know, if man coverage is too good or the blitz is too good or, like, you know, whatever the thing is gameplay wise, that's cool. But the bugs have to go. They have to be fixed. And that was just super frustrating. But I shook Dez's hand. I told him good game. You know, the game was likely over anyways. But if I get the ball back with 15 seconds, you know, I want a chance. Crazier things have happened, and for a lot of money, I feel like I deserve that opportunity. I kind of got robbed out of it by the bug in the game, and they just told me I lost. There's nothing they can do about it. I lost. I got to get off the stage, and it was pretty tilting. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I had to go for a little walk outside after this one. Just wish the game was better. Obviously, it sucks that we lost, but I lost to one of the best players in the world who played an awesome game. So there's no shame in that. I feel like I played really well. And yeah, not being a bad sport. Like I said, I shook his hand. He's an awesome player. He deserved that win, and he went all the way to the finals where he lost to Henry, who's just a different animal. So Dez is great. It was an awesome game. I really can't thank you guys enough for the support, honestly. Like, one of the coolest experiences of my life, regardless of the outcome, you know, and I got so much hate after this. Like, people, you would not believe the amount of people just rooting for me to lose. People I've never met, never seen in my entire life, just begging for me to lose. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's just the territory that comes with being a content creator. It's a territory that comes with being a passionate player. I love talking trash. I love yelling. I love screaming. I love, you know, uploading videos and being in the public eye all the time. And I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, it sucks getting shit talked and, you know, people clowning your dog and your girlfriend, which is super weird. Like, the comments that I saw were super strange, some of them. But, you know, it's life, I suppose. People are just weird on the internet. Miserable people are weird on the internet. So can't let it get to you. You know, honestly, again, thank you guys so much for the support. It was an awesome experience. We earned a lot of points. We're at 550 points to try and qualify for the Madden Bowl, which last year we got kind of cheated on in fine print. We got the tiebreaker for the top 14 in the world. Yeah, so that was frustrating. So I'm looking for a little revenge this year. We're going to try to make it, try to get the guaranteed at $30,000 just for qualifying for the Madden Bowl. We had 3 more events to earn points to qualify for it. We'll talk more about the format in the future. But yeah, I couldn't do it without you guys, man. I love you guys so much. Sorry that I couldn't win this game against Dez. I'll let y'all down a little bit, but I'll make it up to you later in the year. I absolutely promise you guys.